Hello, welcome back to Live Through Revelation. We are now in Revelation 18. Wow, wow, wow. Let's hear what John has to say to us. After these things, I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great authority, and the earth was illuminated with his glory. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and has become a habitation of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth have become rich through the abundance of her luxury. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, and lest you receive of her plagues. For her sins have reached to heaven, and God has remembered her iniquities. Render for her just as she rendered to you, and repay her double according to her works. In the cup which she has mixed for her double. For in the measure that she glorified herself and lived luxuriously, in the same measure give her torment and sorrow. For she says in her heart, I sit as queen, and I am no widow, and I will not see sorrow. Therefore, her plagues will come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she will be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord God who judges her. The world mourns Babylon's fall. And the king of the earth who committed fornication and lived luxuriously with her will weep and lament for her when they see the smoke of her burning. Standing at a distance for fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour your judgment has come. The merchants of the earth will weep and mourn over her, for no one buys her merchandise anymore. Merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and pearls, fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet, every kind of citron wood, every kind of object of ivory, every kind of object of precious wood, bronze, iron, and marble, and cinnamon and incense and fragrant oil and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat, cattle and sheep, horses and chariots and bodies and the souls of men. And the fruit that your soul longed for has gone from you, and all the things which are rich and splendid have gone from you, and you shall find them no more at all. The merchants of these things who became rich by her will stand at a distance for fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, the great city that was clothed in fine linen, purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls. For in 1 hour such great riches came to nothing. And every ship owner all who travel by ship, sailors, and as many as trade on the sea, stood at a distance and cried out when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, "What is like this great city?" And they threw dust in on their heads and cried out, weeping and wailing and crying, "Alas, alas, that great city in which all who had ships on the sea became rich by her wealth, for in 1 hour she is made desolate." Rejoice over her, O heaven, and you, holy apostles and prophets, for God has avenged you on her. The finality of Babylon's fall. Then a mighty angel took up a stone like a great millstone and threw it into the sea, saying, "Thus this violence, the great city Babylon, shall be thrown down and shall not be found any more. The sound of harpists, musicians, flutists, and trumpeters shall not be heard in you any more. No more craftsmen of any crafts shall be found in you any more. And the sound of millstone shall not be heard in you any more. And the light of the lamp shall not shine in you any more. And the voice of bridegrooms and bride shall not be heard in you any more. For your merchants were the great men of the earth, for by your sorcery all the nations were deceived, and in her was found the blood of prophets and saints and of all who were slain on the earth. Oh wow, this Babylon is something else. Mm, mm, mm. Thus ends chapter 18. It says, I found this interesting. It says, "For your merchants were the great men of the earth, for by your sorcery all nations were deceived." So her merchants were humans. That's something to think about.